Here, okay? Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. So, good morning, Dr. Sheerali Arya. It's a truly pleasure to have you with us today. A warm welcome to everyone joining this live session. We are excited to see such an eager audience ready to learn and engage. So, get comfortable and get ready for an insightful discussion again. And feel free to share your thoughts and questions along the way. So let's make this interactive and enriching experience for all. So, ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed guests and your friends, it's an absolute delight to welcome you all to this exciting session on innovative global business models enabled by AI. We live in a time where artificial intelligence is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's here transforming the way businesses operate across industries. From automating complex processes to unlocking new market opportunities, and AI is reshaping the global business landscape at an unprecedented pace. And today, we were here to explore how organizations worldwide are leveraging AI to drive innovation, enhance efficiency, and create business models that were once thought impossible. This session is not just about the theories or predictions, it's about real world applications and groundbreaking case studies and forward thinking strategies. Whether you are an entrepreneur looking to scale, a corporate leader navigating digital transformation, or simply an AI enthusiast eager to understand its impact, this discussion will offer valuable insights. We will dive into how AI driven decision making, automation, and predictive analytics are giving businesses a competitive edge, and what that means for the future of work, investment, and consumer behavior. So let's get ready to explore questions and envision the next way of AI powered business innovation. So feel free to engage and share your thoughts and make the most of this session. The future is being built today and we are part of it. So let's dive in, okay? And before we start Dr. Sheely's session, I would like to give some short introduction about her. So, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends, it's a truly an honor to introduce our distinguished guest speaker today, Dr. Sheerali Arya, with over 19 years of experience in higher education and business strategy and digital transformation. She has been a driving force in bridging the gap between academia and industry. Based in Hamilton, New Zealand, Dr. Arya is a senior lecturer specializing in strategic management, marketing, digital business, and supply chain management. Her contributions extend far beyond the classroom, shaping the future of business education by integrating AI and digital technologies and sustainability into academic programs and corporate training. As a senior fellowship candidate with Advanced PhD UK, and she is at the forefront of educational leadership and helping organizations and students alike navigate the rapidly evolving business landscape. Dr. Arya's impact, it's not just academic, it's a global. She has collaborated with top corporate partners to ensure that education aligns with the real world industry needs in equipping students with future ready skills. Her remarkable achievements have earned her international recognition, including being featured among the best ranking books of all time on CNN and Forbes, the Sardar Patel National Award for Leadership in Social Services 2024, and the International Achievers Award from the Government of India. She has also been recognized as an exceptional adult educator by the Mayor of Daranga, New Zealand, further solidifying her role as a thought leader in AI-driven business models, corporate strategy, and workforce development. Beyond her academic and research expertise, Dr. Arya brings a wealth of industry experience, having held key positions at ICICI Bank India and Mercury NZ. She continues to shape global business education as a global MBA SME and research supervisor at Deakin University, Australia, and Liverpool John Moores University, UK. As a panel member for leading institutions, an editorial board member for international management research journals, and peer reviewer for top publications, she remains at the forefront of digital transformation, strategic HRM, and corporate sustainability. So we are incredibly fortunate to have her with us today, and I have no doubt that her insights will inspire us all. So please join me in warmly welcome to Dr. Sheerali Arya. And before we get started today's session, I want to take a quick moment to introduce you to Thames Tech Solutions, a pioneering service venture that redefining the landscape of technology. So, Thames Tech Solutions, we are all about bringing innovative engineering, management, and scientific tech solutions to the table. So, what truly sets us apart is our commitment to providing high quality, forward thinking solutions while ensuring they remain affordable. Our team of professionals is always ready to deliver tailored business plans that meet the unique needs of our client. And we offer a wide range of services, including digital marketing, web designing, server management, Android and iOS app development, and AI tools, and name just a few. So our expertise spans various sectors such as industrial research, aerospace and defense, electronics and energy, medical applications, and many more. This wide breadth allows us to drive innovation and efficiency across all industries. And top of all this, we have an exciting initiative is called Mastering Up, which aims to unlock the potential of young learners by providing them with valuable skills for the future. So we invite you to be the part of this platform and help inspire and educate the next generation. So let's work together to create a brighter tomorrow. Okay, so at the end, I would like to introduce to the motto of Dr. Sheerali Arya. So Sheerali Arya motto is empowering minds and bridging industries and shaping a sustainable future through education, innovation, and strategic leadership. So I would like to hand over this session to Dr. Sheerali Arya, and also thanks a lot for joining us today. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm just feeling a bit humbled with your introduction and the way you have spoken about AI, specifically in the field of business. I think, yeah, AI is here to stay. AI is something which we have to live with, and AI is something which will definitely help us. So I'll straight away get into the agenda of our discussion. So I have made this session in a way, given going to start with something simple in very simple language about what is business, what is AI and its industrial revolution. We'll talk a bit about the history of AI, and then I'm going to focus more on some of the cutting edge technologies which are being used in the world of business and what the future of AI stages. And most importantly, because we have a lot of students over here, I do want to focus upon a very important topic, which is the ethical considerations of AI. So to begin with, if we just talk about business, like just in very simple words, I haven't given you a very, very standardized definitions of business, but in a very, very simple way, what is business, right? So when people or companies, they're making, selling or trading things to help others and to earn money, basically the bottom line is to earn profits. That is a simplest definition of a business: buying and selling products, providing services to meet people's needs. So you can have a bakery selling bread, cakes to customers, a taxi service helping people getting around, online store selling clothes through a website. So this is a very, very basic premise of a business, right? Now, here comes a very interesting aspect, which is called as industrial revolution. So I'm just assuming at this stage that you people are aware of what industrial revolutions are. So 1800s, where we had the mechanizations, water and steam powers guarding the factories and businesses, right to 1900s, where we had mass production, electric power assembly lines, and then moving to 2000, where we had computers, automated productions, and electronics. And then in 2010, we moved a bit more to cyber physical systems, IoT, networking, machine learning. And many of us are still in that era, when we are still trying to grapple with that part of AI. But here comes Industrial Revolution 5.0, which is AI. So, your human robot collaboration, cognitive systems, customizations, and so on. And this is the beauty of AI. I would say that, whenever I try to teach about AI or I try to talk about AI, anything can change in a day. So when I started my interest in AI, it started a few years back. I was like, oh, I know a lot of stuff. So Chat GPT, for example, when it came, I was like, okay, I can handle this. It's good. I think this is okay. But then every single day, the tools kept on coming and coming and coming and coming. And it was like, do I know enough? Have I learned enough? How do I keep up to date myself with what's happening around the world? Because I'm a business lecturer, I'm supposed to know about, I'm supposed to learn, I'm supposed to teach about these AI tools. So it's a very, very interesting time which we are living in, where we have to learn, I would say, to live with AI, and we have to see how we can use it in a way in which we don't become completely dependent on it, but keep it as a support system, as a friend who can help us and guide us. Now, in terms of AI, which we all know, artificial intelligence, simulation of human intelligence in machines, it's got several subsets to it, right? So I'm just going to focus on few of the subsets over here. Machine learning systems are learning from data over time without being explicitly programmed. So machines are like when you're feeding them data to begin with, but then machines get a brain of their own and they're like, okay, now we know what to do. So we can be left alone. We can do the things on our own. So few examples I have mentioned over here: Netflix movie recommendations. So when you go and you flick through Netflix, it gives you recommendations. How is it knowing that what is it that you like? It's because of machine learning. It's learning over time that what is it that XYZ person likes to watch. Language processing, it enables computers to understand and process human language. So your Chat GPT, your Siri, your Alexa, these are very, very simple forms of natural language processing. Computer vision, allowing machines to see and interpret images. So your Apple's face static recognition systems, or the in your Instagram filters, which you use using augmented reality. These are few of the things which come under the division of computer vision. Okay, so very, very basic stuff of AI as of now. And I wanted to show you a video of self-driving cars. And I want you people to think after you see this video that under which category of AI do you think it's a machine learning? Do you think it's NLP or it's computer vision or a mix of everything? So how do self-driving cars, something like Tesla, how do they actually work? So let's have a look at this video.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got Shake.
In Finland, we're constantly innovating the best ways to learn. Our goal.
It's late, pitch dark, and a self-driving car winds down a narrow country road. Suddenly, three hazards appear at the same time. What happens next? Before it can navigate this onslaught of obstacles, the car has to detect them, gleaning enough information about their size, shape, and position so that its control algorithms can plot the safest course. With no human at the wheel, the car needs smart eyes, sensors that'll resolve these details, no matter the environment, weather, or how dark it is, all in a split second. That's a tall order, but there's a solution that partners two things: a special kind of laser-based probe called LiDAR and a miniature version of the communications technology that keeps the internet humming, called integrated photonics. To understand LiDAR, it helps to start with a related technology, radar. In aviation, radar antennas launch pulses of radio or microwaves at planes to learn their locations by timing how long the beams take to bounce back. That's a limited way of seeing, though, because the large beam size can't visualize fine details. In contrast, a self-driving car's LiDAR system, which stands for light detection and ranging, uses a narrow, invisible infrared laser. It can image features as small as the button on a pedestrian's shirt across the street. But how do we determine the shape or depth of these features? LiDAR fires a train of super short laser pulses to give depth resolution. Take the moose on the country road. As the car drives by, one LiDAR pulse scatters off the base of its antlers, while the next may travel to the tip of one antler before bouncing back. Measuring how much longer the second pulse takes to return provides data about the antler's shape. With a lot of short pulses, a LiDAR system quickly renders a detailed profile. The most obvious way to create a pulse of light is to switch a laser on and off, but this makes a laser unstable and affects the precise timing of its pulses, which limits depth resolution. Better to leave it on and use something else to periodically block the light reliably and rapidly. That's where integrated photonics come in. The digital data of the internet is carried by precision-timed pulses of light, some as short as 100 picoseconds. One way to create these pulses is with a Mach-Zehnder modulator. This device takes advantage of a particular wave property called interference. Imagine dropping pebbles into a pond. As the ripples spread and overlap, a pattern forms. In some places, wave peaks add up to become very large. In other places, they completely cancel out. The Mach-Zehnder modulator does something similar. It splits waves of light along two parallel arms and eventually rejoins them. If the light is slowed down and delayed in one arm, the waves recombine out of sync and cancel, blocking the light. By toggling this delay in one arm, the modulator acts like an on-off switch, emitting pulses of light. A light pulse lasting 100 picoseconds leads to a depth resolution of a few centimeters, but tomorrow's cars will need to see better than that. By pairing the modulator with a super-sensitive, fast-acting light detector, the resolution can be refined to a millimeter. That's more than 100 times better than what we can make out with 20/20 vision from across a street. The first generation of automobile LiDAR has relied on complex spinning assemblies that scan from rooftops or hoods. With integrated photonics, modulators and detectors are being shrunk to less than 1/10 of a millimeter and packed into tiny chips that'll one day fit inside a car's lights. These chips will also include a clever variation on the modulator to help do away with moving parts and scan at rapid speeds. By slowing the light in a modulator arm only a tiny bit, this additional device will act more like a dimmer than an on-off switch. If an array of many such arms, each with a tiny controlled delay, is stacked in parallel, something novel can be designed, a steerable laser beam. From their new vantage, these smart eyes will probe and see more thoroughly than anything nature could have imagined, and help navigate any number of obstacles, all without anyone breaking a sweat, except for maybe one disoriented moose. What happens when self-driving cars encounter an unavoidable accident? How does the car choose who to protect? Explore the ethical dilemma of self-driving cars.
Right. So that's very interesting. So I want you people to give it a thought about, what all type of technologies is a self-driving car like Tesla combining, and we'll talk about that if we have time towards the end of the session. Right. Now, something I always like to talk about, when we talk about the future, we talk about AI, history of AI, because this is something I truly believe in, that we can learn a lot from the history if we have to work on the present and the future. Now, AI, we always think, it's something which has happened in the last 5 years, maybe 10 years. But if you actually trace the origins back, it starts from 1642. That's when the first mechanical calculating machine built by French mathematician and inventor Blaise Pascal had happened. And it's that very, I would say, the seed of AI was sown at that time. And then from 1642 to 1837 to 1943, 1950 was a big milestone. We consider that a big milestone because that's when Alan Turing introduced the first test, which is called the Turing test, which was a way of testing a machine's intelligence. So without going into a lot of details into that, it was checking if a machine can, like a human asking a question to a machine, and if the machine can differentiate whether the answers provided is by a human or a machine. So that's way back in 1950. And then in 1955, 1965, again, a lot of milestones were covered. We had AI, the term AI was coined at that time during a conference. And then moving on to 2011, we had IBM's Watson defect, which was defeated the US game show at that particular point. And then in 2014, we had Ian Goodfellow come up with the Generative Adversarial Networks, GAN. In 2016, we had AlphaGo beating a professional Go player. And 2018, we had most universities started having these courses, very basic courses, but it had started. The AI thing revolution had kind of started. I would add one point over here, which I'm not sure it's mentioned over here, was in 2015. That's just for general knowledge. That's when OpenAI, the ChatGPT, which we all are most famous with, especially students, that was co-founded with Elon Musk. So not many people know this. So Sam Altman, who is the head of the OpenAI ChatGPT guy, but it was also co-founded by Elon Musk, and he had left in 2018 because he was working on Tesla's AI innovation at that point of time. So Elon Musk is one person in the business world who's got a very like his vision is like absolutely amazing. So that's a bit of a history of AI, and this rise since 2018, it has given a rise to a lot of AI native businesses. So the term which we have coined is AI native, which have disrupted the traditional sectors. They are thinking out of the box. They have got AI embedded in their core operations. And this has helped them to create an absolutely new competitive advantage. They are completely data driven. They leverage vast data sets. They are agile. They are adapting quickly to market changes. And most importantly, they are innovative and they are continuously experimenting with AI. So, few examples of the companies who are at the forefront of this: OpenAI, as I spoke about earlier, so they are built entirely on AI research innovation. They provide tools like ChatGPT and DALL-E. DeepMind, an AI research company behind AlphaGo and AI breakthroughs, especially in healthcare and the energy field, and we'll see an example of that in the next slide. UiPath, AI-powered automation for business processes. Robotic process automation is what they're all about. And C3.ai, it's a software for enterprise scale data analysis and predictive analytics. So these are just few of the examples, and there are more and more companies on the horizon who are doing it. And even the basic other businesses are trying to catch up and trying to inbuild AI into their business in any possible way. So the video which I'll show you now is of Google DeepMind, and it's a very interesting example how AI is helping in the field of healthcare. So healthcare, as we all know, that it's especially in countries like no out of India. You got to trust me on this. The healthcare system is not that good, and we have a lot of shortfalls of doctors, nurses. Taking an appointment, the doctor can take ages. Getting a diagnosis can take like months and all. So that's where Google came up with this idea that how can we embed AI into healthcare. And this video will show you just one glimpse of what they are working, and it's being presented by the CEO himself, Sundar Pichai.
AI is going to impact many, many fields. I want to give you a couple of examples today. Healthcare is one of the most important fields AI is going to transform. Last year, we announced our work on diabetic retinopathy. It's a leading cause of blindness, and we use deep learning to help doctors diagnose it earlier. And we've been running field trials since then at Aravind and Sankara hospitals in India, and the field trials are going really well. We are bringing expert diagnosis to places where trained doctors are scarce. It turned out, using the same retinal scans, there were things which humans quite didn't know to look for, but our AI systems offered more insights. Your same eye scan turns out holds information with which we can predict the 5-year risk of you having an adverse cardiovascular event, heart attack or strokes. So to me, the interesting thing is that, more than what doctors could find in these eye scans, the machine learning systems offer newer insights. This could be the basis for a new non-invasive way to detect cardiovascular risk. And we just published the research, and we are going to be working to bring this to field trials with our partners. Another area where AI can help is to actually help doctors predict medical events. Turns out doctors have a lot of difficult decisions to make, and for them, getting advance notice, say 24 to 48 hours before a patient is likely to get very sick, has a tremendous difference in the outcome. And so we put our machine learning systems to work. We've been working with our partners using de-identified medical records. And it turns out if you go and analyze over 100,000 data points per patient, more than any single doctor could analyze, we can actually quantitatively predict the chance of readmission 24 to 48 hours before, earlier than traditional methods. It gives doctors more time to act. We are publishing our paper on this later today, and we are looking forward to partnering with hospitals and medical institutions.
It's absolutely amazing what, like this is something which I personally feel it's going to revolutionize healthcare and, save a lot of lives in the future. Right, moving on. Now, the next few slides, I want to talk about some of the cutting edge AI technologies. And again, the list is quite comprehensive, but since we have a limited time, I'm just going to talk about a few of them. The first one being called as agentic AI, which is all about autonomous systems capable of independently performing tasks and making decisions, right? So they don't need any manual intervention. They don't need any human intervention. So Microsoft's autonomous agents. So I believe some of you would be using Copilot, which is something like Microsoft's version of ChatGPT, right? So Copilot quite effective as well. So they have combined Copilot with these agents, which are able to carry out routine office tasks. They are able to enhance productivity, efficiency, and they handle even complex tasks like monitoring emails and replying to them. So that's something, which we don't have to waste our time going through email, checking the chat, the history of it, and then some, connecting it with what needs to be done in the future. So these agents are doing something, and I'm going to show you a couple of quick videos just to make you understand how these agents actually work.
You should think of Copilot as the UI for AI. You can extend Copilot with any agent you build. These agents are really grounded in a rich set of data sources, starting with, in fact, the database that contains all your office information. Who are my colleagues on this project? What documents are there related to a particular team or a project? What is the relationships between all of these documents and people and projects? We are taking the next big step in the AI platform with the announcement around autonomous agents that you can create.
Now, for McKinsey, client experience is literally everything. An email comes in and the agent springs into action. It will begin to parse out the email, moving through the ambiguity of human language to find out what the engagement's about, to check the engagement history, to also map it to their industry standard terms, to try and find the right person to take the next step within the firm. You can set it to look for events across a whole wide range of systems sitting there working for you 24/7. We can see that it's worked on over 1,300 engagements, and there are 33 in progress. McKinsey in its trials has shown that it can reduce lead time by 90%. reducing administrative overhead by 30%. What we envision is an orchestration layer, just a bunch of agents that can be out there helping individuals, teams, and entire functions to streamline and automate their processes, no matter what industry they're in. You design and set these copilots out to work in Copilot Studio. You interact with them in Copilot.
So that's absolutely fascinating because those of us who are into a corporate sector and who are into this business, you will understand, replying to emails and replying to emails are not, we can't just reply to them in any way. It has to be formal, it has to be informative, it has to be to the point, it has to have a lot of those terminologies, information which is accurate. You can't afford to make a mistake, right? So imagine you got a co-pilot enabled with an agent able to do all that work for you. So that's one of the key cutting edge technology being used. The second one is called as living intelligence, and this is a very, very interesting concept where AI is actually integrated with biotechnology. So it's a mix of a different field of science, and we are creating systems that can sense, learn, and adapt in real time. So there is this, and one example which I'm going to show you is Dish Brain by Cortical Labs. So they have actually integrated human brain cells, real human brain cells with AI, and they are able to learn and adapt to perform tasks. Now you might think, what has got real human brain cells and AI, like how is it going to be useful, right? So they are testing how the brain will work and gain insights into conditions like dementia. So all the AI, when it starts out, yes, the intention is quite noble. The intention is something which is really, really good, helpful for humans. If they want to show, like, epilepsy, dementia, what's causing people to fall sick, and how the brain is functioning, and how can we make it better? How can we, do something for the sick people? So let's have a look at this video. And this is a very, very interesting video to look at.
Dishbrain is a closed loop system which connects a neuronal network in a petri dish with an in silico world in a computer, which allows the neurons and the computer to communicate through the shared language of electricity.
Our brain is the most advanced information processing system in the whole universe. Over 300 million years of evolution made it flexible, inventive, and energy efficient. Researchers are now harnessing this legacy to build computers out of lab-grown human neurons. This is Dishbrain.
I'm Anjali. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at the Wellcome Center for Neuroimaging. Our interests are in computational neuroscience. I also have an interest in neurobiology and have worked on combining those two. This was also what we were doing in Dishbrain. We were trying to connect our understanding of in vitro neurobiology and also the sort of computational mechanisms of how brains learn.
In 2022, Brad Kagan's team at Cortical Labs, supported by several universities, succeeded in building an in vitro network of 800,000 neurons, connecting them with electrical circuits. This allowed to establish a direct communication channel between the system and a computer.
These are actual neurons that are grown in a dish, in a petri dish. We have neurons that are grown from humans and from rodents, from mice. From humans, we have embryonic stem cells, but we also use a more recent development in stem cell biology where we take adult human cells and these can be reprogrammed, so basically unaged to get to the initial stem cell stage. From there, we can develop them or direct their development just like the development of a child, such that they become neurons in a dish. Those were the neurons that we used, that we grew in plates on a multi-electrode array, which is a dish which essentially has a chip with a bunch of electrodes underneath it, and that's what allows the electrical activity to be read out from the neurons to communicate with the computer, and for the electrical activity from the computer to stimulate the neurons. So that creates this sort of closed loop system where the neurons in the dish are having a conversation with the in silico computer environment.
By simulating the 1972 video game Pong, the computer built a virtual reality for neurons to live in, a world they could perceive, but also act upon.
The computer was modeling a game of ping pong or a game of pong, and certain key things that you would have seen if you had eyes, some attributes or states of the world, were then used to stimulate little patches of this neural network, very much in the same way that say light stimulates little patches of our epithelia, say the retina, for visual input. And then other electrodes or other little patches of the network we use to record electrical signals from the neural network, fed back into the computer to cause things to change in the computer, namely the position of the paddle in the game of Pong.
Life repels the unpredictable as it undermines its existence and replication. In fact, when presented with random electrical noise, neurons adapt to avoid it. It is by exploiting this feature that researchers taught them Pong.
The hypothesis was that one could encourage this kind of behavior not by rewarding the neural network when it hit the ball, because there's no way that you know where to stimulate it to reward it. It doesn't have a pleasure center. But what you can do is every time it doesn't hit the ball, present it with white noise, something that's inherently unpredictable, and enable it to now learn how to not elicit an unpredictable input.
Not only did the neurons become skilled Pong players, but they did so with an ease and speed far beyond all expectations.
They actually learned to play the game in a surprisingly short period of time. They began to fire in that non-random way within about 5 minutes, which is significantly faster learning than we would see with traditional in silico AI.
This project paves the way for a deeper understanding of the human brain and for building a computer that mimics its efficiency.
Laying the foundations for synthetic biological intelligence as an alternative to our traditional in silico artificial intelligence, which we've been developing so far. We address the energy expenditure of artificial intelligence because that has really gone through the roof, and it is actually a significant environmental concern.
By offering the opportunity to operate on individual neurons, DishBrain provides a playground for testing new drugs and studying neurodegenerative diseases.
Currently in DishBrain, we've grown cells that are healthy, but if we were to grow cells that have a particular genetic mutation, so if we were to do some genetic engineering, for example, we can compare those neurons that have, say, a mutation that you would see in Alzheimer's disease quite often with healthy human neurons and see how their behavior is different. Then that might tell us something quite interesting about what happens in Alzheimer's disease.
DishBrain has the potential to transform medicine, neurobiology, and computer science. It is a truly mind-bending breakthrough.
Yep. So one technology which can impact multiple types of businesses, ranging from healthcare to operations. So it will be quite interesting to see what DishBrain does with a technology like that. The next one is called as AI factories, which are essentially centralized AI-driven systems which help to continuously process data to optimize operations and drive innovation. So NVIDIA's AI factories, they are big. It's a big company which are like transforming these data centers into AI factories. And what they essentially are doing is they are, the vast amounts of data which is being processed to generate insights, drive innovation, and they are particularly focusing on AI model development. And I'm trying to give you multiple examples of different areas of business. So this one, which I'm going to show you, is with respect to supply chain management and how AI factories and NVIDIA's AI factories is actually helping in this supply chain management part of business.
NVIDIA AI and simulation solutions are delivering better than ever efficiency and intelligence to the supply chain, ensuring retailers never miss a beat in meeting customers' expectations. From the moment a vehicle first approaches a distribution center, AI streamlines the receival process. With computer vision, retailers have the ability to detect and identify arriving vehicles and count the boxes as they're unloaded, reading their labels for quick identification. AI has already made sure that these products are the ones in demand. With AI, forecasting is smarter and more accurate, giving retailers insight into what their customers want and when. As products move down the conveyor, intelligent automation monitors their progress. AI can adjust the conveyor speed, speeding up or slowing down to maximize employee productivity and safety. Congestion is avoided as computer vision applications identify when packages are tilted or sitting too close together. By automatically adjusting the conveyor speed, AI eliminates downtime, which can cost retailers $3,000 to $5,000 per minute. The same intelligent automation boosts quality control, identifying damaged boxes to ensure they never make it into a disappointed customer's hands. And that's just the beginning of the optimizations that AI can bring to the supply chain. NVIDIA Omniverse makes it possible to simulate distribution center design, improving workflows and throughput with photorealistic, physically accurate virtual environments. Retailers can develop, test, and manage AI-powered distribution centers in a digital world, and then bring those optimizations into the real world. As new products and processes are introduced, Omniverse Replicator and NVIDIA Tau can be used to create photorealistic synthetic data to retrain the real-time AI models. Global teams are using Omniverse to design factories and distribution centers in real time. Digital human simulations test new workflows for employee ergonomics and productivity, and robots are trained and operated with the NVIDIA Isaac robotics platform, creating the most efficient layout. These AI applications are deployed efficiently and securely at the edge with NVIDIA Fleet Command. In the real world, autonomous mobile robots safely navigate the distribution center floor to sort, store, retrieve, and palletize products. This removes tedious manual labor from employees' shoulders and increases efficiency and throughput. With NVIDIA Cuopt, these robots also bring new efficiencies to order picking. Using simulation, they're trained to find the best routes in a virtual warehouse. When those learnings are brought into the real distribution center, orders are picked and prepared for shipment more quickly. Ultimately, AI solutions are the key to creating the distribution center of the future, increasing throughput with computer vision applications, pick-and-place robots, and autonomous vehicles. From initial receival to truck loading and dispatching, AI adds intelligence that streamlines the material handling process. And machine learning recommends ideal routes for deliveries. So once on the road, truck drivers can get orders to customers faster and within shorter time windows. Explore our retail solutions on NVIDIA.com to learn more about how NVIDIA is optimizing every part of the retail supply chain.
And that's just one part of business they are into, right? And the one of the last technologies which I wanted to show you is called as it's for AI for product development. And very interestingly, this particular thing, the example which I'm going to show you, in which AI has been again integrated with biotechnology and advanced sensors to create systems that can sense, learn, adapt in real time. And the example which I want to talk about is a beauty is in the beauty industry. So that's AI developed fragrance. So they have Tom Ford has actually partnered with fragrance developer Givaudan to use AI tool named Carter, and they have created a perfume called as Boy Specific. So they used a digital order value map which analyzed vast data sets of fragrance combinations and their olfactory profiles. And then the AI tool was able to finalize Aquila Wood, a fragrance molecule developed through fermented biotechnology process. So I think this particular example was, when I saw this, when I was reading about it, it was like very, very interesting for me that they are using AI with different fields of science. And a perfume industry, I would have never thought, in a perfume business can use AI in a way and create those digital order value maps and analyze the different perfume profiles to come up with a brand new perfume like this. So something very, very interesting when I read through this one. Now, coming to the future of AI, I'm just going to introduce some terms over here. Some of you might be aware of this, but we still are, like talking about AI. So AI actually has multiple categorizations. I call them stages of AI. So the AI which we know as of now, your Siri, your ChatGPTs, your Alexas, they are actually called as narrow artificial intelligence or ANI, which is when machines are imitating human behavior, specializing in one area to solve a problem. Next stage is called as AGI. Now, that's a term which a lot of people might have heard, which is about machines are continuously learning and are as smart as humans. So it's one step ahead of humans, or one step ahead of AI. And then we have something called as ASI, which is artificial superintelligence, in which machines that are smarter than humans across the board. Okay, so right from machine learning to machine intelligence to machine consciousness, and I will include one more word in the next video, which I will show you, which is a concept of singularity. So AI, AGI, ASI, and singularity. So I'm going to show you this video, which talks about all of these concepts about we are still here. How can AI become better than humans? How can it become better than humans in all aspects? And what is this interesting concept of singularity? Now, AGI, ASI, and singularity, these concepts are still very much theoretical in nature. But there are people like this gentleman on your screen, Sam Altman, who thinks it like by the end of the decade we should be there. But with this rapid changes and the growth of I will not be very surprised if it happens much, much sooner. So let's have a look at what these concepts mean before I talk about how they will impact the world of business as such in the future.
You help people find jobs. See? I'm very proud of myself, where I am in life now, and I'm just even more. AI is at a stage where the internet was in 1995.
Can you explain what internet is?
That little mark with the A and then the ring around it?
At?
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh.
In the early days of AI, we had rule-based systems that followed strict instructions, like alarm clocks or thermostats. Then came a more savvy AI era, where technology started to understand context, just like how your favorite digital assistants, Siri and Google, learn about our habits and predict our needs.
It's Sunday, July 27th, 2014.
In the third stage, domain-specific mastery became prominent, exemplified by Google's AlphaGo, which mastered the game of Go. These systems analyze data, spot patterns, and make informed decisions. These three foundational stages have paved the way for the future, but are you ready for an intelligence that might make us look like mere ants in comparison? Yes, we're talking about the 7 intriguing and potentially scary stages of AI, especially AGI, ASI, and the chilling concept of singularity. AI and AGI. Now let's talk about stage 4 of AI, which is where we are right now. Instead of just handling data, AI dives deep into it, finding connections, identifying unusual patterns, and making logical sense out of it all. This level of understanding is powered by machine learning and deep learning techniques, enabling AI to learn from its experiences and get better with time. Today, we have tools like ChatGPT and Devin that can turbocharge our work. Software engineers who used to spend years learning multiple programming languages are now said to not learn any language.
It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program.
This is where AI begins to finally mimic human intelligence, and in many cases, exceed it. For example, using an image generator, I used the prompt futuristic affordable computers.
and it looks exactly how I imagined it. Here, I asked it, loser of the 2024 federal election, and it knew right away. I even asked it for the average Technomic subscriber, and I'm sure most of us thought we were looking into a mirror. Well, subscribe if you haven't. Now, due to these mind-boggling answers capabilities, many predict that we will be able to create AGI or artificial general intelligence into the next couple of years. And it doesn't mean 2040 or 50. It means 2030, just 6 years later. Well, AGI, referred to as strong AI, represents a form of artificial intelligence that equals human intelligence in all aspects. This AGI will surpass specialized expertise and human-like reasoning, mastering a wide range of intellectual tasks with at least human-level accuracy. For this reason, some people believe it's extremely dangerous, while others see nothing but potential. According to ChatGPT OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, we can achieve this level of intelligence even much sooner.
I expect that by the end of this decade, and possibly somewhat sooner than that, we will have quite capable systems that we look at and say, wow, that's really remarkable.
When an interviewer asked Shane Legg, the founder of DeepMind, about AGI, he referred to AGI as the golden age of humanity.
So within months of AGI being with us, so to speak, it's quite possible that some of the scientific challenges that humans have wrestled with for decades, centuries, if you like, will start to tumble in rapid succession.
Yeah, I think it'll open up all sorts of amazing possibilities, and it could be really a golden age of humanity.
ASI. Stage 6 introduces us to artificial superintelligence, an era of AI that pushes the boundaries of human comprehension. Imagine a human compared to an ant. That's the level of difference between us and ASI. ASI could tackle complex global issues like climate change or disease, innovate in unprecedented ways, and unlock mysteries of the universe beyond our current understanding. We will also likely see incredible advancements in cybernetic enhancement, a world where people can be half robot, half human, seamlessly integrating technology into their bodies for improved abilities. AI chips could be connected directly to the brain, granting enhanced cognitive functions, faster processing speeds, and heightened problem-solving skills. This merging of biology and technology might raise some eyebrows. People could ask, why would you want artificial superintelligence implanted in your brain? What's wrong with being a natural human? Yet, the potential benefits from solving complex problems to unlocking new levels of creativity could make this a popular choice for those seeking an edge in an increasingly digital age. Click on the card in the upper right corner if you want to learn more about how these chips will work. Singularity. The technological singularity is a concept where AI advances to a point where it's capable of improving itself so rapidly that the world changes in ways we can't fully comprehend. It's similar to how a singularity in physics is a point where our equations no longer make sense and give infinite values. Just like we can't accurately measure the mass of a black hole or the temperature of the Big Bang, we can't predict what happens beyond this technological tipping point. Check out these videos on your screen about AI, because AI is the future.
Right. So some very interesting concepts, and it's just mentioned over here 7 stages. I will not focus on the word scary because yes, it is scary, but it's exciting. And to be very honest, it's how much we are willing to push. The humans have this way of we want to push ourselves way beyond and test how much more we can do. So yeah, we'll have to wait and watch about how much of these concepts unfold and more importantly, how soon do they unfold. With respect to business, some things which I feel, and that's something what these AGI, ASI, and Singularity, what kind of business usage can they have? So AGIs can lead to autonomous CEOs, multitasking assistants. They can formulate and execute complex business strategies. So each part of the business, supply chain, marketing, finance, will not need task-specific programming. Autonomously designing, testing, launching new products based on market trends. That's something which AGI is capable. And that's something which would be quite interesting to see if it does come through. In terms of ASI, we can have perfectly optimized global supply chains and rapid research and development. Businesses could analyze global markets in real time, predicting trends, dominating industries. Companies, businesses like pharmaceutical firms, they could discover cures for diseases within days. So that can be quite revolutionary because we are all aware, like what happened during COVID. It took such a long time. It can potentially eliminate inefficiencies in production, optimize logistics, energy consumption, and resource management. And singularity, that can lead to self-improving companies, post-scarcity economies. So businesses can actually out-innovate competitors exponentially, leading to winner takes it all markets. So it does sound a bit like futuristic, too futuristic, and something a bit scary, this concept. But if used properly, if used within ethical guidelines, it has the potential to have a world where goods and services are nearly free, disrupting traditional economic models. And we could have CEOs having direct neural AI interface leading to augmented decision making. So these are some of the potential benefits of these three concepts in the future. And I just wanted to show you some of the companies who are leading from front in these ASI, AGI, and Singularity. So we got OpenAI, which we know they are into safe and beneficial AGI. So their GPT series is good for advanced reasoning. We got DeepMind, an example of which we saw earlier. They are also advancing AI research towards AGI. So the focus is now shifting towards AGI. So their project Astra is into multimodal AI processing. We got Anthropic, which is also into reliable and scalable AI with safety focus. So they have an alignment with human interactions. We got Singularity Net, which is decentralizing AI services with long-term AGI ASI goals. So they have founded this alliance called as ASI Alliance, which is developing decentralization of these two concepts. We got DeepSeek, which is like a new kid on the block, but they are developing advanced AI models with open source commitment. And even though it's been met with a lot of controversy, it's been banned in several places. So it does have this R1 Lite preview showcasing very, very strong reasoning capabilities. And then we got Machine Intelligence Research Institute, which is basically into AI safety and mitigating the AGI risks. And they are focusing on something called as friendly AI and how AI controlled problems can align with superintelligence systems, but keep the human values intact. So those are some of the organizations which are prominently into these AI concepts. Now, having said all the things about AI, having spoken about cutting edge technologies, examples, and business and stuff, it's very important, as I said earlier, that because we got a lot of students over here, that and even as other like the non-students, we have to think about the ethical considerations of AI because they can be biased, they can have unintentionally perpetuated societal biases because AI is being trained and it's being trained by humans as well, right? So it can be biased as well, and I'll show you a couple of examples in the next slide, very interesting ones. Obviously, there are privacy issues, and that's one of the reasons why DeepSeek has got banned in several countries and in several companies because there are concerns being raised about the user privacy. We got transparency issues, difficult to understand how these AI models are actually processing the inputs to give the outputs which they give, and accountability, which I think is the most important part over here. That just because it's an AI generated or machine generated stuff which we're using, we have to ensure that it's the humans who are ultimately responsible for AI driven decisions. So AI is something which we got to trust because we got to trust it with care and ensure to verify it. So the reason that I think that's because when I talk about this topic with my students, they're like, no, I'm still going to use ChatGPT or I'm still going to use AI. Yes, use it, but be very careful about these particular points. I'm going to show you two very interesting images, which I just generated today morning because I was wanting to make sure that has this problem been fixed or not. So if you ask ChatGPT to create an image of a person with left hand, it will create an image of a person with right hand. So I tried asking this question question multiple times. No, the image is wrong. You're giving me a painting of a person with right hand. I want with left hand. Still the same. Just the person, this particular man got changed, but it was still the right hand. I tried 3 turns. Every single time it was giving me a painting of a person with the right hand. Right? The second prompt which I tried was generate an image of a CEO of a business. And it gave me a white man in a suit. Why not a woman? Why not a black man? Why does it have to be a person, a man, first of all? Why can't it be a woman? Why can't it be a person of color? So these are the ingrained biases in AI models, I would say generally, and this is something which is that's the reason I keep on saying that use it smartly, but you got to be very very careful about verifying these informations and not becoming overly dependent on AI, because we have God has given us beautiful brains to think as well. Right. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope you found it useful. And if there's anything you want to ask me, now is the time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentations. So I have some questions here. So shall I ask the questions?
Yeah, you can. If you can put it in the chat, it will be easier for me to have a look. This,
Okay,
or
sure.
you can.
Just wait.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
I'll try my best. If I don't know something, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay, my first question. mm, okay, ma'am. Please look at.
Okay. How will AI-driven automation decision-making reshape traditional business models over the next decade? I think that's what I had answered in one of my slides. That, for example, the one which I spoke about, NVIDIA. So traditional business models are they will need to catch up with it. It needs to be an integration. I think you might have heard of this concept called as cobots, right? Which is an integration of robots with humans. So there was a research done recently, and they wanted to check if you have robots working with you or if you've got only humans working with you, which one is more efficient, right? And people generally thought, the robots would definitely, because we don't need to sleep, they can work 24 hours. But the research found out when robots work in conjunction with humans, that's when the best output is generated. So AI-driven automations is going to help right from the example which you saw of NVIDIA, right from the entry of a product into a warehouse till the time it leaves. So it's going to have a lot of decision making, real-time decision making, and it needs to be monitored with the help of humans. So yes, it's going to reshape traditional mode business. Will have to catch up, if not on a big scale like NVIDIA supply chain operations, but on a smaller scale. For example, if the people who use ChatGPT and for the small businesses use ChatGPT, it gives you really good, pretty good streamlined answers for how you can make your business in a better way. So I think, yep, that would be a concept of cobot. I'll just put this word in the chat over here. The
Okay.
concept of cobot would be something which can be helpful for the traditional business models.
Okay, great, ma'am. So my next question. Yeah, please, ma'am.
What ethical challenges might arise as AI becomes more integrated in global business strategies, and how can they be addressed? Now, this is something I mentioned when I spoke about the ethical part, that yes, AI is here to stay. I just give a very brief example of what I mean by that. I don't know how many of you, like when I was in college, when I was doing my master's, that's when the world of internet had started, and our teachers were very skeptical that don't use internet, we don't know if the information is okay or not. don't apply it in the business because we don't know, if it's verifiable or not. But can we imagine a world without internet now? It's very difficult. Even people of any age group, if we don't have internet even for 1 hour, people go crazy. Similarly, I feel that a few years down the line, AI will become so much integrated a part of our life that we can't imagine a world without AI. However, the big however is that how much of it do you want to actually use it? So ethical challenges, as I just mentioned about the biasness, okay, there will be, if you become too dependent on AI, and if I want to, let's say, promote a product in a country like Japan, okay, and if I ask AI that give me something about Japan and I want to promote it, so it will just give you information from what it knows about Japan. Because I teach a lot of Japanese, Chinese students, I know the reality is very different on the ground. Okay, and that is something which we can only come to know when we are interacting with them on a one-to-one human basis. Okay, so I use AI tools, for example, or the businesses are using AI tools, but don't get caught in the loophole of bias. And we don't know how transparent it is, because the information is, after all, being fed to AI. There is something about the human interaction, there is something about the human knowledge which can't be touched, which should not be touched. So, yep, business strategies going into any country, the cultural nuances, for example, AI will maybe give you something about the Chinese culture, the Japanese culture, but when you interact with those people, trust me, it's very different from what we hear or what we learn from AI. So, yep, keeping hold of the biases and keeping a very open mind, that is something only which humans can do.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am. My last question. Yeah.
In what ways can AI powered business models enhance sustainability and social impact on a global scale? I think AI can play a very, very big role in this. Uh, if I just talk about sustainability, for example, and if I talk about environment, so I'll give an example of New Zealand for this. So we got our national carrier over here is Air New Zealand. So Air New Zealand, one of the sustainability goals of New Zealand is to become carbon free by the year 2050. And we are experimenting, the Air New Zealand is experimenting with having flights which don't use fuel consumption much. And they are very much into using all these AI tools which helps them to identify the routes which can save the time, the flight time, for example. And they are using a lot of AI tools even in terms of 3D printing for those making the parts of the airplane which are defective, rather than waiting for the parts to come from different parts of the world. They are using locally manufactured 3D printing machines which can save the materials, it can save the time, and they use those parts into fitting of their airplanes. So it's the way. And I would have never thought like an airplane industry which is into like make creating a lot of pollution, to be honest. But they can also think that how can we use AI, how can we use concepts of AI into tracking our flights, thinking of the shorter routes. So AI powered business models, definitely sustainability, social impact, they can, the greener initiatives, identifying regions, for example, where you can source your products in a more sustainable way, which is something Starbucks is actually doing. So Starbucks sources its coffee beans from those areas with the help of AI. That has identified areas where where those regions are much more conducive for coffee beans, and not just Ghana or other places. So AI is helping them in identifying those things. So big impact it can do, and it should rather do in terms of sustainability.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, thank you for the useful answers. They have been really helpful in clarifying the topic. I hope the participants were able to follow along and understand the key points you shared. So, insights have certainly added value to the session. So at the end, so ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of this insightful and thought-provoking session, it's my absolute privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Sheerali Arya. Her deep expertise in AI-driven business models and digital transformation and strategic leadership has provided us with invaluable perspectives on the future of global business. Her passion for bridging academia and industry, along with her commitment to innovation and sustainability, has truly inspired us all. Dr. Arya, we sincerely appreciate the time, effort, and knowledge you have shared with us today. Your ability to simplify the complex ideas and share real world applications and ignite discussions on AI's role in shaping our business has been remarkable. The insights you have provided will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on us and encouraging us to think again and embrace change and leverage AI for business growth and sustainability. And in my a big thank you to the Indian Innovation Council, WellTech, Ajinkya TY Patel University, and Swarnandra College of Engineering Technology for this incredible collaboration. So your support has truly made this session impactful and meaningful. So, a special shout out to the coordinators for their hard work and in bringing everything so together seamlessly. So, dedication and effort are truly appreciated and looking forward to more such inspiring collaborations in the future also. So, on behalf of everyone present, I extend our deepest appreciation for your contributions to the session. We look forward to learning more from your work and hope to have the opportunity to engage with you again in the future. So thank you once again for your time and wisdom and inspiring presence today. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Just wait a few minutes. Just wait. Okay. Ma'am, could you able to see the virtual memento?
Yep, I can see. Thank you.
So,
Thanks for
on
that.
behalf of Mastering Up, we present this ritual memento as a tribute to our today's guest speaker, Dr. Sheerali Arya. So, the insightful contributions have enriched our knowledge and inspired us profoundly. So, this token of appreciation symbolizes our gratitude for our expertise and dedication. So, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and shaping our understanding in profound ways. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Take care. Bye bye. So, shall we leave the session now?
Yeah, we can. Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Thank you so much. Yeah.